it's all about understanding when we're talking about the concept of leverage, there's usually 4 good types of leverage. So the 4 different types of leverage you can have is other people's time, which is what businesses use, or let's say if we want a business to do our work or we want our accountant to do our work for us, we're using their time. But we're also using that business or that professional's skills. So there's other people's skills that we can leverage. There's also one of the most important things, I learned this from Warren Buffett, is other people's experiences. Because if you learn from other people's experiences of not only what went right, but what went wrong, you get to avoid all those mistakes and learn from people that have spent 40, 50 years in the market and avoid all the mistakes pretty much. Of course, we can try the good stuff, but avoiding the mistakes is the most beneficial one. And then the 4th and final form of leverage is other people's money. People see it as, I don't want to get into debt. That's why it comes down to good debt versus bad debt. Buying a brand new car with debt isn't necessarily the best thing, because you've got weekly repayments that might be about $200 a week. A car might cost 40 grand, but in 10 years it's worth 5 grand or 8 grand. Let's do the exact same example with property. So you borrow to buy an investment property, not where you live, because mortgages where you live are a completely different story. People confuse the idea that it's an asset that's growing in value, so that's why it's an asset, but technically it's a liability, right? Going back to the car versus property example, you pick up a car, its weekly repayments are actually, worst case, $20 a week.
Yeah.
But in 10 years, a $500,000 property is at least going to be $700 or $750K. If you get it right, it can be worth $1 million as well. But that's the sort of difference you're looking at when you're leveraging other people's money. Are you using it for good purposes, or are you using it for something that's not really going to be paying you back?